Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Halt and Peel. And thank you for turning off your microphone during our gathering. Let's center ourselves this morning with the strong intention of looking forward to our year ahead of us. Infinite mind of God fills my awareness with all the right ideas for all the people who come and will come to Unity Halt and Peel. We gratefully follow the guidance. It is so, and so it is. Our mission, let's repeat this together, to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And I would ask Jane to read the daily word, please.
Okay, thank you. The daily word for today is valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. Each person is a spiritual being made in the image and likeness of God, blessed with a variety of spiritual gifts we share in different ways. The world needs my unique contributions. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family, more confident in myself as I shine the light of God as only I can. Living in the awareness of my value helps others see it too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions I may have held about myself and treat myself as the divine being I am. Like a beautiful gemstone, I too am a precious jewel among so many others. Together, we sparkle and shine. And from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, so God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them.
Amen. Thank you, Jane.
Welcome.
Would you lead an opening prayer, please?
All right, just take a deep breath and center yourself in this right now moment. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes and just let go and let God. Mother, Father, God, divine and Holy Spirit, we know, and even if it's only for the next moment, we accept that we are your beloved. We are of great value to you. We are a precious gem. We sometimes forget how precious we are to you. We sometimes believe the things that people from our past have told us that weren't true. We are the living Christ. Every cell in our body has the living Christ energy in it. Oh, the things we can do knowing the truth of ourselves. The possibilities are unlimited. Nothing can hold us back from our desires of the heart, the desires of the mind and maybe of the world. We may not attain those because they are not our divine desires. We are living proof that miracles happen and that we are of value. For this and so much more, I say, thank you, God. Let it be so, and so it is.
Our first song this morning, God You Are, by Daniel Naomi.
Oh, yeah. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Good morning. And Patty, I won't need the PowerPoint up. Thank you. So it's so nice to be back. You all look good. And I'm sure those who are going to watch us later look just as good as you all look, but we've got the love going, the divine love going through us. So today's talk is called Soul Talk. It's reversed. So can you read it properly, or is it just me? Okay.
It's good for us.
It's one of the books that we had to read for the spiritual direction course that I'm taking, and I really got a lot out of it. So before we talk about the book, I just want to read the meaning of soul from the Revealing Word. Excuse me. The ether, the astral, and the soul are virtually one. It is in this realm of the soul that ideas first take form. The soul is not the realm of God ideas, but is the second emanation in the creative law. This is the garden, like in Genesis 2, verse 8, in which all things are possible. But the supreme being lies deeper than the soul. The mind must grasp ideas in their absolute, unrelated, and unlimited degree before God can be comprehended. So the difference between soul and spirit, also the difference between the Spirit of God and the indwelling Christ, is as follows, again, from the Revealing Word. Excuse me. The soul touches both the inner realm of spirit, from which it receives direct inspiration, and the external world, our human side, from which it receives impressions. But as man brings into expression the original purity of the divine consciousness, his soul is purified and established in its primitive innocence. The spirit is the divine center in man, woman, and is always in the absolute. It does not become involved in effects, but stands as the creative cause of the absolute good. I like what the author, speaker, and activist Palmer Parker reflects when he asked, "What is the soul?" He was asked. Soul is a word which must be held lightly because it points towards a mystery for which nobody has a true name. Every tradition has a different name for it. What we call it doesn't matter so much, but that we do call it matters a lot. So as he said, mystery surrounds our soul. And even if you believe you have never communicated with your soul, I can guarantee that you have. You know, those knowing moments, we've all experienced them. You get a gut feeling that something's wrong with your child. You have this draw to enter a store that you have no desire to go into, and something you've been looking for forever is there in a store that you would never believe you would find it. You, at the last minute, make a different turn to go home on a different street that you've never gone that way before, only to find out later that there had been an accident. And either you may have been in the accident on your normal route, or you would have been stuck there for a long time. That is your soul talking to you. These moments, you know, the ones, I don't know how I knew, I just knew. We just know. And that's when the soul is talking to us. It communicates with us constantly, whether we're going to listen, whether we deny that it's happening, or whether we embrace it. It's always happening. And yes, your soul may be a mystery to you more than the reality of this outer world, but you are not a stranger to soul moments. Your soul is a hidden reservoir of limitless wisdom, peace, joy, and love. Your best guide for setting priorities in your life and living at a sustainable pace, not the pace, the stress pace that society is telling us we should live at. It comes from your soul. Your soul is the part of, I love this. Your soul is the part of you that God held last, just before releasing your free flight into this world. Isn't that beautiful? Your soul is the part of you God held last, just before releasing your free flight into this world. It's like when your first child goes off to university and you're hugging them and not wanting to let them go. That's what God did to our soul. Sounds lovely and divine. So, a little bit about our souls. What is the disposition of the soul, of our soul, you might ask? It is one of peaceful enthusiasm. Your soul's holy inclination is towards high aspirations. It doesn't want to hold you back from anything. It wants you to flow. It wants you to fly. It wants you to achieve your highest abilities. But it always comes from a place of deep contentment. Not, I have to do it, I have to do it. It's from that peace. Your soul wants to ensure that your drive to succeed never overshadows your peace. In steadfastly insisting that your serenity be as deep as your ambition is high. Your soul knows and wants you to know that your best offering to this wonderful world derives from a place of inner peace. Not drive, not I have to do it, I have to prove it. It comes from the peace. You know, when you're conversing with your soul about your desire, you know, when the monkey mind is quiet and you're not in doubt, you know the thoughts like, you want me to do what? I don't know how to do that. Your soul wants you to know that the bestest you can offer to this world comes from a place of inner peace, even in the midst of confusion, hurt, anger. And I have an example. I got a call from the manager where Christopher, the group home that Christopher was in. And she asked me where I was, and I was home, and she said, "Can I come over?" And I said, "Sure." And it didn't seem strange because I had been coaching her. And then a couple of minutes later, my daughter called, and I was excited because I just moved into my first very own apartment after leaving my husband. And they were coming for dinner that weekend. I said, "You're still coming? Like, what do you want for dinner?" And we hung up. And then I called the gentleman I was dating, and I said, "You know, I think there's something wrong with Christopher." And I was very calm. I was very peaceful. There was no fear. There was no anxiety. There was no nothing. And then my daughter called me back. So I hung up from my boyfriend, and that's when she told me that Christopher had died. Nothing in the conversations I had had before her calling me back the second time would have given me any indication that there was anything wrong with my son. But I knew within my heart that there was something wrong. I didn't know that he had passed, but I knew there was something wrong. Now, the peace and serenity did not last past being told that he was gone. I went into excruciating pain and anger and hurt and guilt and all that. But that is just one example that I can remember of getting information from my soul that something was about to happen. So what is your soul really like? How do you know when your soul is speaking through your inner voice, or even through spiritual nudges or feelings or sightings? Soul communication comes forth from inside of you and from outside of you, through other people, through situations, through nature. So here are a few features to watch for when you think your soul is speaking to you. It is distinct. The voice of your soul has its own unique sound. It comes from a place that is of this world and yet beyond it at the same time. And that's the mystery part around it. It's a voice that is gentle, but always strongly certain. It's non-anxious. Even if your message that the soul has for you is serious and urgent, your soul will never communicate to create destructive tension within you, though it will sometimes trigger you to act that way. The soul sound is filled with peaceful reassurance. It's calm, always taking your emotional state into the deepest consideration. Your soul will never say anything to you that it believes you are truly unable to hear. I question that point because I think I've been told things I didn't want to hear. There's clarity. There's no doubt. You may doubt what you're being asked to do or to feel or to say, but there's clarity. We may muddle our soul's message with our fears and our doubts about what we're receiving. The soul's expression is direct and forthright. Even though we may have doubts of what we're hearing, the soul never doubts what it says to us. Thomas Merton wrote, "Some things are too clear to be understood," because we go off into our stories about what we're actually hearing as opposed to staying in the now. We all tell ourselves that we don't understand, or I can't possibly do what I think I'm being told to do. But we can. If it's coming from our soul, it's doable. It's truly doable. Your soul is lighthearted. Your soul has never known fear and never will. It knows that through it all is well. You know, there's always that rainbow at the end of it. With such blessings, the soul, more than it is known for doing, risks playfulness and joy. Your soul does not shy away from alluring you with whatever it takes, not just product messages, offers in hopes that you can't resist imagining, smiling, laughing, dancing, singing. And the greatest quality that your soul has is patience. It can't be ignored. It will continue to talk to you over and over again until you listen. Now, don't feel bad. You don't have to feel guilty that you've ignored it or denied it. It understands. Your soul is relentlessly insistent and should not be underestimated. So, I have a bingo story. So, they have a game that it's just like the 649, and you get the sheet and you have to pick 6 numbers. And I usually spend $5 on it. It's a hard game to win, so I don't spend a lot of money on it. But where I went to sit at the table, the people who had been there before had filled out 2 of these, and they were sitting where I sat down. And I heard, you need to play those numbers. And I'm like, no, I already spent my $5. That's another $10. I'm not spending another $10. But I continue to hear, you need to play those numbers. And I resisted and I complained, no. But at intermission, I played those numbers. I spent the $10 and I won $5,000. I won the bingo game on one of their numbers. So it pays to listen to what your soul is telling you to do. And there's no judgment about what they're telling you. You know, it doesn't matter what the story is. It doesn't matter what the intention is. It doesn't matter what the quality is. If your soul is continually speaking to you, pay attention. And your soul is divine. There are those who believe that the soul and the voice of God are one. Only you can decide that for yourself. Listening to my soul, it sounds just like I imagine God would sound like, but that's me. We will all develop our unique way of relating to our soul. Some of us will listen attentively, some will hear only during challenges, and some of us will ignore it totally. Along with the deep peace, wisdom, and joy coming from your soul, it has other unsung gifts as well. Your soul is always connected to the sacred and appreciates the witness of spirit, always. It doesn't go off on its own. It is connected. You know that wondrous joy that you feel when you hear that young baby laughing, that deep, dirty laugh? Your soul brings your attention to the holiness of the purity of the love of the joy. John O'Donohue, in his book, Spiritual Wisdom from the Celtic World, says, the human heart is never completely born. It is being birthed in every experience of your life. Everything that happens to you has the potential to deepen you, to transform you. It brings to birth within you new territories of the heart. And this is what the soul is trying to inspire in you, to continue to grow, transform, see things in a different way. So the wish of your soul, more than anything else, your soul wishes you fierce freedom for exploration and enchantment. So how does one speak to their soul? Excuse me. Kirk Jones came up with 7 steps, but I added an 8th one because he talked about it. He just didn't put it in there formally, but I think there's 8. Be still. Number 2, lay burdens down. 3, listen deeply. 4, don't run away. 5, be honest. 6, be gentle. 7, welcome new truth. And 8, journal. So be still and know that I am God, which is Psalm 46:10. Your soul will not compete with other voices in your head in order to be heard. You know, the ones the teacher said you weren't good enough. Your mother and father said children are seen but not heard. Your soul will wait patiently until your willingness to listen in your silence and your stillness. Listening for the sound of genuine. Howard Thurman said it best, there is something that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will, all of your life, spend your days at the end of the strings that someone else pulls. So take back your power right here, right now. You will not be free to be your truth self if you allow others to control your strengths. So these are a few of his suggestions on how to go into the stillness. And of course, we're Unitics, so we know about going into the silence. But I'm going to share a few. Just slow your breathing down. Focus on your breathing. There are so many breathing techniques out there for mindfulness now that you can find one that resonates with your body. Focus on something empty. So if you use the same bowl for your favorite snack, use that bowl empty and focus on the empty, and that will help you feel empty. And not the negative empty, but the empty so that your soul can fill you. Observe a burning candle or a fire. Just watch the flames flickering. Resist thinking about anything at all. Simply acknowledge it when it comes up, release it without judgment. It's the lack of judgment that allows you to let it go faster. And focus on a picture of serenity. So for me, it would be a picture of the lake where, in Ontario, where I love to go and walk. Just listening to the sounds of nature. The goal of a stillness practice is to reach a space of what poet Mary Oliver refers to as the not thinking, not remembering, and not wanting. And it's not always easy, but we are able to do it with practice. We already have, even if you don't consciously know it, it's happened. Number 2, lay your burdens down. We have grown so accustomed in today's society of living stressed that feeling ease sometimes seems foreign, and we're looking over our shoulder waiting for the hammer to hit. We ask ourselves, what right have we to feel a deep, abiding peace, not just in this moment, but extended moments in time? If we are to engage life with energy and creativity and joy, it is time for us to become comfortable with the truth about our inner reservoir of freeing peace. This is not a selfish indulgence. This is our birthright. Letting yourself feel less burdened is a necessary action for living with replenished hope. The best way I know how to lay my burdens down is to focus on everything that I have to be grateful for. One of the most challenging parts is number 3, listening deeply. Listening to your soul is worth turning the noise in your life down, for your soul deserves to be listened to ferociously. If you can do that, you will benefit from the soul's deep wisdom and to cultivate the ability for soulful listening in every area of your life. You will get things you had never imagined possible. When we honor our souls and listen, the rewards are unimaginable and limitless. We are rewarded with the longing for deeper listening and a closer connection with the Christ within. Deep listening takes courage sometimes. It means we will hear things we tell ourselves we don't want to hear. Courageous listening, choosing to pay attention in spite of feeling threatened or fearful, can present us with information to grow when we may have no other way of attaining it. We've tried everything with the situation we're in and no answer comes. Maybe the soul has the answer for you. Genuine transformation hinges in our choosing to hear new possibilities buried in what initially sounds unbearable or unchangeable. Being open. So how do we become courageous? Question more, judge less. When the judgment is gone, you are more open to hear what it is you're meant to hear. Don't immediately dismiss what you hear. It may not be something you want to do, but maybe it's exactly what you need to do. So don't dismiss it. Focus on listening with patience. Just pause. If you get something, just pause and just take it in. We can more readily risk hearing what we don't want to hear if we remember that nothing we can ever hear has the power to ultimately separate us from God's grace, God's mercy, and God's love. Maybe most importantly, ask your soul questions. Know that when you begin to listen deeply, you will also see more deeply in your life. Number 4, don't run away. That's hard when you're getting things that you don't think you can do, that you don't want to do, that you don't want to hear. What we fear the most might be what sets us free. Become aware of what you resist during soul communication. If you choose to remain in any discomfort long enough to be more curious than uneasy, eventually your being afraid will give way to your interest being piqued. So they're not telling you to deny what you're feeling, to deny the uncomfortableness, to deny. They're telling you to feel it. Go through it. You can't shove it down because that's when we get sick. It's about feeling it and getting to the other side, and you will see things that you didn't want to see. That is exactly going to help you through. You will also connect to your truths, the truth of who you really are, your authentic self. It's time you let these truths have their say. Again, those monkey mind talks of people from your past who told you you weren't good enough, you weren't worthy enough. It's not true. Let the tears flow. Resist the resistance. Take notes for you to go over later, because sometimes when you're going through it, the emotional part, you're not in the calm and you can't see the clarity. So if you write it down and go back later, the clarity may be there for you. 5, be honest. Your soul is a place where your secrets are safe. So if you have things that you need to release, we all have had secrets in our life. This is the place where you can safely let them go. Your soul will not judge. Your soul will always love. It's where you can share what you don't think is shareable. There's always a place we can go with our deepest secrets, free of judgment. You will never be judged. You will always be loved. Remember that all of your feelings matter, even the ones you don't want anyone to know you have. Spirituality that does not honor the full spectrum of our human expression is not in our best interest. God never made Jesus stop crying. Our tears matter, and your soul is a wonderful, safe place to share them and shed them. Our anger matters. Give yourself permission to feel the deep upset. The goal ought not to be to avoid deep anger at all costs, but to learn to direct feelings of deep anger towards consideration, growth, and transformation. And number 6, be gentle. As you engage your soul talk sessions, pay attention to your soul's gentle touch. It'll rub off on you. May you be as gentle with yourself as your soul is with you. Jesus says in Matthew 11, verse 28 and 29, "Come to me, all you that are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls." The ease of your soul is God's desire for you. Grace is your soul's calling card. And welcome the new truth, not the one you always told yourself. I can't do this. I won't do that. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. God is always thinking greater than any blessings you have in your mind. Make space for the new self. As you become more sensitive to your inner voice, you will become more attentive to what matters most, not what you think you should do, because your soul always knows what matters most. You may find yourself suddenly paying surprise, deep attention to something that you may have not noticed initially or even ever. Attend to what your soul grabs hold of and will not let you go. This is your truth. So those are his 7, but the 8th one, which he talks about in the next chapter, is journal. I don't know about you, journaling is the easiest, fastest, and cheapest way to work through things, and I hate doing it. I really dislike doing it, but it works. When we journal, it's harder to deny what wisdom and guidance that we've received. It's hard to stay in the lies that we tell ourselves or that others have told us. If we go into doubt, writing it down every time it comes up, because of course earlier we were told that the soul is patient and it will continue to tell you many, 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 many times. If you write it down and you see it over and over again, you may have to take a closer look at that. Just write it down. Please remember that God is always and forever dreaming your joy. New truth that may jar us initially always has a joy for a purpose. You can find joy anywhere. We are the result of God dreaming our joy. That soul pleasure is the ultimate purpose for living, is not selfish, it's holy. One of the magnificent features of the purest joy is that it is transcendent. Pure joy, a lavish sense of it being well with you, does not need optional circumstances to exist. The purest joy is a strangely undeniable sense of the fullness of spirit. Joy is a choice. You can always connect with it. It's always there within you. Just like spirit is always within you and your soul is always within you. If you're looking for growth, transformation, healing, wisdom, guidance, answers, I invite you to begin to deliberately communicate with your soul. It knows your desires, your gifts, even the ones you deny that you have, your wisdom, and so on. It knows your authentic self better than you know it. To acquire and better communicate with spirit, your soul is where you will find it. The choice is always yours. So let's prepare for meditation. So just become completely comfortable. If that means wherever you are, you want to lie down, you go ahead. Just be open, relaxed, knowing that you are supported wherever you are. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths, as deep as you can. Hold it for 2 seconds and then release. In and release. Breathe in And release. Breathe in and release. Your soul is waiting for you to invite it into dialogue. So I'm going to count from 10 to 1, inviting you to connect deeper with your soul. Number 10, visualize your own sacred soul. See, hear, imagine what it's like. Whatever you receive is exactly right. Number 9, feel the deep peace and serenity exuding from your soul towards you and your life. Number 8, feel the divine love bubbling up in your heart, being connected to your soul. When other thoughts come into your mind, number 7, when thoughts come into your mind, simply acknowledge you're having the thought and simply release it. No judgment. Number 6, let go and let God take away any resistance. Be open and receptive. We're not asking you to do anything your soul is asking of you today. We're just asking you to connect. Number 5, accept right here and right now that both God and your soul see your true, authentic self. They know everything about your highest and greatest good. Number 4, you are never alone. God and your soul are always with you. Know that your, number 3, know that your soul is patient and kind, joyous and enchanted, loving and peaceful. Number 2, be gentle with yourself. If this communicating with your soul is something that is new on a conscious level, just be gentle with yourself. Take it easy. Take it at your own pace. There's no rush. Your soul is patient. And number 1, just simply say hello to your soul. Start your conversation simply. You may hear a message. This is your soul. Allow your soul to speak to you. It's good. It's all good. It's all well. This moment and all moments that you spend with your soul is void of fears. The soul doesn't know fear. Fear cannot exist when spirit is present. So without any burden of fear, ask your soul for higher knowledge, whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever your imagination can come up with. Ask your soul a question and listen courageously as we go into the silence. And I'd like to end today's meditation with a power letter from God. Dear Sacred One, as my beloved child, you are both product and recipient of my creative energy. Each day you are called to be about the business of owning a little more of your power. Learn to enjoy embracing the aliveness that enlivens abiding in you. The best way to fully realize your human strength is to be firmly convinced of the divine strength within you. Don't be afraid to claim all that is in you to claim. Your joy, your peace, your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your strength. Do this, and your possibility will always loom larger than your challenge. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Eternally and internally yours, your loving Creator. Let it be so, and so it is. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Debbie. That was beautiful.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's the love that heals, the love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
What a perfect song. And that service today. Thank you again, Debbie. That was lovely. So let's bring our attention, focus our attention to our time of sharing our gifts. During the month of July, we have directed our whole tithe towards the GTA food banks to help with the devastating loss of the heavy rains in Toronto. 3 of the major food banks in GTA and West in Mississauga lost thousands. It's up to the $100,000 area of actual food because their freezers and the refrigerators were totally damaged from the water damage, and the flooding took places in the 3 locations. It was pretty rough. So rather than send it to Eden Food for the month of July, I've sent our whole tithe to the locations in the GTA to help them recover from that devastating rainfall. To help all of us, my goodness, it was something else, eh? And just to remind you all that the easiest way to send your gifts is to interact at Accounting, Unity Salt and Peel. Still receive checks. The PayPal account is oh, look at that. It's a bit of a challenge for me right now because I am trying to pay our last week's speaker and it's giving me some grief, but PayPal is there as well. Together, let's share in this prayer of thanksgiving. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is. Thank you, everyone, for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. So we draw your attention now to the spirit groups, so that summer gatherings are beginning to happen, and Wendy Carr will be facilitating So Good About the Good Book from Thursdays, running straight through to the end of August. And you can get connected to that by joining unitycanada.org and look for spirit groups. There's a link there on that site. Transformed by the Lessons in Truth. This was the book that was required when I joined Unity to study this with the minister for 5 or 6 weeks, and it was an interesting lesson. I enjoyed that study, and it was still used right up until a couple of years ago. So revisiting that is Tuesdays from 1:30 to 3:30. And again, you can register through the Zoom link at Spirit Groups on unitycanada.org. And we are one. This is in the Bible. That's 10 weeks, commencing July 10th. So it started last week, runs from 3:33 on Wednesdays to 5. And Andy again is running, I think this is a repeat, Thursdays 1 to 2:30. July 11th, she began this last week. One of her favorite subjects is the Bible. Thank her for her support and the work that she does with that. The Unity Prayer Chaplain, Diane Riley, is online with us this morning. Thank you, Diane. Please send your prayer requests in to Diane, or send them to info@UnityHalton if you can't find Diane's email, but it's here. It's in the newsletter every week. It's on our website. Please do send requests for those prayers, and Diane will hold them in prayer with the prayer chaplain team, and then they send them on to Unity, Silent Unity, for another 30 days of prayer 24/7. So you all prayed up there. Let's take a moment to bless our children and youth of Unity and of the world. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. I'm certainly grateful for the children in my life. Together, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and I am. We close today with
peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peaceful on our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose